Well, hello, human beings. How are you, Dustin? It's been a few weeks since we last colluded. How are you doing, sir?
Dude, I'm doing fantastic, man. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. I'm glad to have you on. My buddy's the wake down. He's supposed to be here shortly, but I'm like, you know what? We'll just keep it. We'll just get the show running, because why not? So I'm glad to see you making the moves with your channel, man. I'm really happy about that. You are just absolutely killing it, dude.
You too, man. You're getting up there.
Yeah, I hit 400 today, so I'm like, that's cool, bro. I'm 20. I'm all close to 500. I guess there'll have to be a party for that. So, yeah, last night was fun. I hosted for my buddy Comics Division, and yeah, people were throwing all the money at me. It was really scary and fun. It was like, man, who would have thought I'd make a bunch of money off moist people? It was nice. It was moist. But let's say hello to a few human beings. Dark Shadow Logan. Hail everyone. Hi, sir. I'm he for the flavors. All 13th woo. Elagablus, what's up? Just a normie. Hail. The Austinator. Hail to the moist. I like the seemingly random start. 9:50 p.m. No, I not 9. Oh, trust me, dude. I'm working on it. I will let you guys know since you're all here in the chat. Since the nights in the summer are a bit longer. I'm gonna start a little bit slightly later so I can accommodate to my personal life stuff. And especially being a dad, I gotta get those things done during the day. They want to have longer days, so I do gotta accommodate that. So you're gonna start seeing like 8:50, 8:53, maybe even 8:59. So it's coming. Oh, it's coming. So you just wait. But still the Tuesday schedule. Godzillionaire. Human beings, did you just assume our species? You damn right I did, Godzillionaire. You damn right I did. And the Dexy Doodle appears. Nick! Dexy Doodle! How are you doing? Oh, man. Hell yeah. So anyways, Dustin, what's going on with your channel? You got some stuff to, tell us about with your channel before we get into our whole spiel here.
Just putting out content. I'm doing podcasts and I'm doing recipe videos, all that fun stuff. And I will be starting the other channel with the music interviews coming up shortly.
Oh, see, for those of you who do not know in the chat, this guy here, Dustin, aka Barutal, he has been my co-host for when we do metal interviews. So he's been quite awesome. We've done 4 of them now? I think something like that, like 4 of them now.
3 or 4, I think.
Yeah, 3 or 4. So it's been fun. They've been seldom, but when they happen, they reek of all the excellence. So it's when they happen is when the magic is real. So yeah, anyways, I mentioned last week for people who were there last week that I was doing a little bit of a shift in how I was going to operate my Tuesday nights for the next few weeks. So I decided, why not action movies? I've seen all these cool movies that are from the old days. Oh, and a toxic man flu appears. Toxic man flu of the Dix Division. Hail! What's up, buddy? Oh, so that parrot head. You're a good company, Dustin. You're a very good company with what you're about to witness tonight. But I said, I see a lot of, what the channels we're all covering this modern pop culture. I wanted to go old school, and I didn't want to just go old school, but I wanted to go into like the lesser known stuff. So when I thought of like the Stallone movies and the Willis movies and the Schwarzeneggers, Dolph Lundgren, I wanted to go to like the lesser known movies because like when people see Stallone, they think Rambo or Rocky, but most of them aren't going to be thinking about Cobra. You think about Arnold, you think about Terminator. Well, see, we're talking about when I think of Arnold, I also want to think about Commando and Raw Deal.
Dude.
Right. So we're like, okay, well, you know what? Red Heat. I'm going to start off talking about Red fucking Heat. This movie is oh man, this movie is just like it's just oozing in toxic masculinity. You're killing me, Parrot. Hey, we haven't even got to it. So basically, we're gonna read along the little article on Red Heat, and what we'll do is we'll talk about the movie as we go along, and we'll highlight the plot from Wiki, and we'll talk about basically our thoughts and the ridiculousness of it all. So I'm gonna share the screen here, and we're gonna talk about Red Heat. So, anyways, right here, Red Heat is a 1988 American buddy cop action film produced and directed by Walter Hill. And guys, Arnold Schwarzenegger, he deals with a drug kingpin, and that drug kingpin happens to be played by our wonderful guy here. God, where is he here? I can't find him. Oh, Edo Ross, right here. He plays Victor Rastavili. And Arnold is literally playing a Russian cop.
He does so good too.
He's dealing with a drug kingpin who when you hear drugs, drugs are bad. You gotta deal with the drugs. And one of the guys, he gets out of the country, he flees, and then he's just like, oh hey, I gotta go to the country where he left to go to. And we got a certain Wakedown here. What's up, Wakedown?
Evening, guys. How's it going?
Oh, dude, good to see you, man. Hey, Wakedown, Dustin, Wakedown.
Nice to meet
Good
you,
to
So, all right, Wakedown, you're right on time. We were actually talking about the concept of Arnold dealing with a drug dealer who flees the country, who heads to Chicago of all places, and Arnold has to come to yeah, right. So that opening scene where you see like a whole bunch of naked dudes, and
That
everyone
scene is
an iconic
entirely
scene,
pointless.
It's a scene that only the 80s could produce. You won't see that now.
No. I think Game of Thrones was the last thing to pull off like an ocean of naked dudes. Like, besides, when Game of Thrones had the whole wieners, floppy wieners, floppy wieners. But no, for real, you got a bunch of dudes going around. All of a sudden, he bashes the guy's leg, and then also he put it's all the cocaine spills out. He's like, cocaine-um.
Cocaine-um. Yeah, literally, as I was watching the movie just a few hours ago, I took notes on my little notepad here.
Oh, cool.
And so all I have written for the bathhouse scene is pointless reason to show jacked dudes and titties.
Yeah, but I mean, it was shot in such a way that you really didn't even see a lot. Especially growing up, I had this on VHS and 480p on an old old console TV that we had. Yeah, and then I remember that scene so vividly. And then there's that ultimate that ultimate part where they put that red rock in his hand.
Oh yeah, I was just like,
yeah.
He's like, come on, I don't care how strong you are.
I like how he never drops it. He just hits somebody with it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's just like,
bow. Knocks him clean through a wall.
into a snowy mountainside.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and then also you just see two naked dudes falling down the snow.
I don't know how they got to Switzerland, but
right.
Yeah, that's true.
It didn't look like Russia.
It did not look. Even though they actually legitimately filmed the movie in Chicago, they did do it because it's a lot cool. I'm gonna mention Chicago real quick. When you get there, you see there's O'Hare Airport, which is the signature Chicago airport. You can also see what's called the Blue Line, which is like the main train line that runs around all Chicago. It goes into a few suburb towns. You see that. You also see the old school Illinois license plates. Those are legitimate license plates at the time, and you see there's everything's open, everything's packed on the streets. So they really nailed the look and the atmosphere. Even Belushi has that whole Chicago vibe going on. He's very, very smug, very tough. He's like, "Hey, what are you doing here, man? You come from Russia. What are you doing? You got no business up in here." Type of. He's got that type of attitude, and it colludes perfectly with Arnold's character, this Ivan Danko.
I'm surprised we're not seeing more Danko memes.
Yeah, right. He's Ivan Danko, and Ivan has not Ivan. I really called him Ivan. Okay, we'll just say Ivan. He has the most ginormous, ridiculous flat top ever, which I'm just gonna show off here. So we'll go on DuckDuckGo. We'll look at Ivan Danko flat top red heat. Like, dude, oh my god. Let's see if we get a definitive photo of. Oh, dude, look at that thing.
That epic hair.
Look at that. Oh my god, dude. No, this exists. Oh my god.
I wish I'd have known that existed when I drank vodka. I would have
one. But seriously, that is a flat top's flat top. Like, a flat top sits on top of that flat top and does that. Like, I cannot believe.
That is which one was Kid and which one was Play from House Party?
Kid had the tall box.
Yeah, that is the white boy equivalent.
That's such a good movie too, man. We need to maybe do that one too.
Hey, maybe we do. So, anyways, obviously Arnold realizes he needs, obviously, this Victor guy. He flees the country, heads to America, specifically Chicago, and Danko realizes that he needs to catch this guy because deeds were done and bad people were hurt and killed.
Well, he killed his partner.
Yeah, he killed.
They killed his partner. Yeah, they killed his partner. I was just paraphrasing for people who don't know in here, so I wasn't getting literal. But we could go with that route. But you see, it's cool because Ivan comes to Chicago and he gets buddied up with Belushi's character Art, and right off the bat, you could see how they're two different cultural worlds colliding. And you can see, Ivan, he's got this very, super stoic, thing about him, this presence about him. He just wants to get the job done. And Belushi's he's a lot more free-falling type of guy. And, they get to a point, where, they're trying to get the job, going. And they're struggling because, well, they're just, once again, they're way too culturally different. At one point, Belushi says lines that kind of fly over Danko's head. One point, he's we can't do it, man. We can't touch his ass by doing that. And then Danko's well, I don't want to touch his ass.
Yeah. There were some iconic lines in this movie that kind of got glossed over, even though he never said "I'll be back." But
no, he didn't even need to with this one. He did not even need to. Hold on, we're gonna look at some wonderful quotes here. I'm renovating my kitchen, Brutal, so I just subbed your channel. Ooh, there you go. Nice. Oh. Killer. I tuned at just the right time. Toxic masculinity. What's up, Courtney? Thank you. 32 flavors of wiener likes red hot for Arnold naked. I keyed. I was just by to say hi, Shorty. Well, thank you. Let's be honest. He is playing a Terminator with a Russian accent.
Basically.
Yeah. I hear Nick's favorite musician is the biker dude from the Village People. What's up, Mike Beats Dicks? Man, we got a lot of Dicks division in here. I'm glad you got all the Dicks came out strong and hard.
Fair. He's playing a Terminator with an Austrian accent.
Oh yeah, no. Nick's favorite bar is the Blue Oyster. No, for real, Elagabalus, I'm glad you bring this up because a lot of this movie really relies very minimally on CG. It is a lot of practical effect. I mean, it's really the everyone just doing their stuff, their stunts, their everything, at least, and with some actual effects going on, but actual, not just every heavy emphasis on CG. And this is before everything was dumbed down to that. I mean, this was because Jurassic Park kind of like treaded the line, if you remember, where it was like there were some practical effects, but the CG, even the CG, aged really well. Like I don't know if you guys have gone back and watched that movie since then, but you could see like it's actually aged really well because there's some CG that just. Yeah, you're like, wow, that was just 10 years ago, and yet Jurassic Park was like what 20 something years ago. It's just amazing what's CG has done. Well, this movie is no Bluey. No, it's definitely not. But I will say Bluey is a kick-ass show for the all agers. Getting that mic tomorrow. Once I fix the video, I'll hit you up because I want you guys to watch for it. Hey, contact me, man. Contact me. But anyways, we'll carry on the conversation. Wait down. You say you had some notes. Let's hear your notes on the Red Heat.
Oh God. What do you want to know? All right, where are y'all at? What did I miss?
Well, we kind of like I jumped around a little bit with the whole out of culture that Arnold is, or aka Ivan Danko is, and you see, and then I was just trying to point out how they're so culturally different because when they first meet, Blue's like, "Oh man, you look like Gumby." Like, that.
Well, I thought it was pretty funny that Belushi, when you first meet him, wants to arrest that hooker because he likes her tits.
Oh.
He's like, what? I have needs. We should arrest her.
Once again, lines that this movie would have... Can you imagine the outrage that could have came out from this movie? Like, had these lines of like just been going around, like flopping around. What I'm curious. What else did you get? Because I'm curious to what you got. Because before I show off my end of the bargain,
let's see. I did actually write down something about one of his actual lines, if I could find it.
Please. So, anyways, I'm gonna show off some very funny photos of this redonkulous movie while we do that. So, yeah, I mean, look at this. Look at this photo. Look at that photo, dude. Look at that. This is me, and there's Belushi. Oh my god! Oh, this is that scene. Remember when he'd come out of the shower? And
Man,
the guys
okay. So one thing about this movie that drove me insane after going back and watching it again is the total lack of trigger control. Everybody's running around with their guns in the air like this, fingers on the trigger. Bad guys, cops, everybody together. They're all doing that.
Yeah, but that's typical 80s.
I know, but I hadn't really thought about it. And then since I've grown up, I've learned how to shoot. And then I go back and watch it. I'm like, how did this ever get past practical? You know what I mean? Like, they have gun people on set. How did this?
Oh yeah.
How did they let this go?
Well, it's kind of like when you mention when people are like, oh, why can't you just shoot the guy in the leg? They do it in the movies. Like, what happens in the movies stays in the movies.
To be fair, they didn't start getting, like, SF guys on the set until the late 90s. Back then, it was probably just, like, one dude who had served in the army for 6 months before he got kicked out for his cocaine habit.
Oh, man.
But yeah, I found to speak to one particular note.
What do you got?
Shit, I lost.
Talk to us as I show off these wonderful photos. Look at that Gumby.
Oh yeah, that's right. It was the fact that Belushi had explained Miranda rights to Arnold, and Arnold just wasn't getting it. And later on the street, when the guys talking about, like, I'm gonna fuck your car up if you don't move it. He goes, do you know Miranda? And the guy's like, no, who the fuck is she? Wow!
That was hilarious.
I just heard that line a few days ago. I'm acting like I just heard it for the first time.
I actually couldn't find this on streaming, so I had to buy it. So I had to buy it I bought it on Amazon streaming, so I would have it. Because I haven't seen this movie since I owned it on VHS, and I remember we watched it all the time, but like the only thing I would remember strongly was the bath scene.
Oh god.
Just the bathhouse. That's like such an iconic thing, like burned into my brain.
Yes, Bone. I have hit 400. Thank you. I appreciate that. It feels good. I'm getting closer to 500. So I appreciate you dropping in and tuning in. Thank you. But we're gonna carry on the show. But look at this outfit. This is why Belushi calls Ivan Danko Gumby. Look at that ridiculous. You look like Gumby. He kind of
He's
does.
square.
Dude, he's like a perfect like he's like a straw with a head on it. He's like a perfect like for real. Oh my god!
And I didn't remember her being in this movie. I love her as an actress because she was in a lot of like movies that I watched when I was a kid, like Cocktail.
I was actually surprised when she died.
Oh, when did she pass on? When was
no.
that?
I mean, like
No, in the movie.
In the movie.
Oh, I want to mention this, folks, because there's a very notable face right here who at the time went by Larry Fishburne, not Lawrence Fishburne, the guy who ended up moving on to become the whole Matrix guy. I mean, it's so like, I remember like rewatch this for the first time in years. I'm like, whoa, Fishburne. And then like, I'm like, oh, Larry? I'm like, oh, and I looked it up as it was just what he went by then. And I didn't realize he had been doing movies for that long. This is because The Matrix was 1999, and this movie is like a whole 11 years before that. So if you think about it, 98, 08, 18.
He's kind of a dick every time you see him in the movie.
He's talented, but yeah, you're right.
Okay, Nick, do you want to get your hair blown back?
Yes, I do.
Look up pictures of Lawrence Fishburne from Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Oh, God. Good luck.
Oh, man. Fishburne. Pee-wee. Oh, Pee-wee. All right. This is going to be... What?
I'm telling you. I used to watch his Saturday morning cartoons, man.
Look at this headline here. Jimmy Kimmel needs Blackish Star. Oh my god. Oh my god. What the?
It's like a cowboy Rick James.
Well, they had a chair, not a couch.
Oh my dude.
See?
Oh my god, look how happy they are together. Oh man, dude. This outfit is very, well, I guess you could say kind of telling. But you could swear when you look at those photos then, and then you see this, like, yeah, we ain't the same guy. We ain't the same guy. What you see then is not that. Anyways, let's get back to that thing. So yeah, Larry Fishburne. That was like, whoa, hey, Larry Fishburne, and there, hey, for our wonderful toxic males in the panel, guys, have a look.
This was a great scene.
I wonder why. I mean,
It wasn't a very long scene. It didn't actually. There was actually relatively very minimal nudity for an '80s action flick in this one, though.
Yeah, it really was.
True. Like at a point in time, it was kind of like standard. Oh my god, there's that Russian outfit.
That hat.
Look at that hat. That's like literally the size of his hair standing up. It's like his hair stood up the hat, if you think about it, because of how tall his hair was. It's so ridiculous. That hair. Look at that. Tells you everything about this chemistry, right here.
I gotta hand it to Arnold, though, man. Like, he is... people talk about his acting ability, or make fun of his acting ability, but he is a pro. He doesn't break character throughout this entire thing. He doesn't crack one smile. He's as cold as ice, no matter what. He's got fucking Belushi next to him the whole time cracking jokes, and he is just a stone.
That's true. No,
he didn't get the jokes.
Yeah, he was still like only 10 years newish to America or such, so he still needed extra time to catch on. He had only done Conan and I think Raw Deal at this point. I
No,
think
he's done Terminator by this point.
The first Terminator, 84. You're right, Terminator.
Yeah, I mean, he had been in. There was even a movie before Terminator. There was a movie where he played a cowboy and his voice was overdubbed.
I think I've heard of that. That sounds familiar.
And he was in Pumping Iron. It was like a documentary movie before all that. I had everything on VHS. I was obsessed with Arnold Schwarzenegger as a kid. So I had everything, I want to say, from at least Conan the Barbarian all the way through Kindergarten Cop, which is a good 15 plus movies.
Oh, yeah. Amazing resume. Of course, Belushi was no slouch himself. Oh, dude. You know what's funny? I actually watched the special features on this movie after I had watched my DVD copy of this DVD. And this actor, what's his name? Edo Ross. I actually thought he was legitimately like Russian sounding. And because he pulled off the accent really well. When you actually hear him speak, he just sounds like a normal, I guess you could say American dude. But
wasn't he still in movies?
He was at this time. He's kind of a more big deal than he's kind of like he's done a lot less since then. But at the time, he was definitely a bigger name in Hollywood. He's like say he's definitely slowed down since then. But this movie, like I was just like whoa, and he actually was like an effective villain because he really made Ivan and Art at odds with each other at some point. So if you think about it, like he pushed them to their limits. So he does get, in my opinion, at least a credible villain arc because he fled the country. He really pushed them to their limits. They really had to work to get him. Like
he makes a couple of strange choices throughout.
Oh, he does, undoubtedly. But look at this poster in another language. I can't do. It looks like it says double detention, Belushi. I see.
Double detente.
Il Vita Chicago. Oh man, look at that. Red heat. Okay, we're going to close this sucker out. And now we're going to go back to where Red Heat. We're going to look at some interesting facts on the movie. Because, once again, Walt directed it. And he did the story. So, where is the fun facts about this movie? Storyline. Did you know? Oh, here we go, guys. Let's get fun here. Some trivia. All right. Walter Hill, thinking Arnold was too muscular. What? He thought he was too muscular? Asked him to lose 10 pounds for his role, and Jim Belushi to gain 10 pounds. Once again, guys, this is another thing that wouldn't fly in today's world. With the weight and the losing games, right? Because of the whole body positive thing.
Well, I think for men, it's a whole other thing when we're dealing with men. Because we're still dealing with someone like Arnold who would have to make weight, or he would have to, especially if he's doing like the competition still, he would have to cut weight. So that would be something he was probably pretty used to doing and was able to do it probably fairly easy. And then Jim Belushi, all he had to do was, drink more.
That's true. Oh, how was it here? Dexy Doodle right here. Don't forget Hercules in New York. I have it on VHS. Probably doesn't play now. Well, Dexy, if you get one of those, I don't know if you could probably find it on eBay, but they got those those cleaners that you can use for your VHS where it cleans out the tape. Do you remember those things when they would show like the white lines on the TV? Do you remember those guys way back when? I mean,
yeah, the VHS head cleaner is the one that cleaned the VHS recorder.
Yes. Yeah. VHS head cleaners. I love that everyone here is jumping in. There's also Pumping Iron, and of course Predator in '87, which had probably, I don't know if you want to call it like a handshake or a colliding of the hands with Dylan, you son of a bitch, and then I see that, and every time I see that scene, I feel like we're gonna have like an earthquake happen.
You guys ever see Red Sonja?
Hold on, Red Sonja. I did not see the original. I did not see the original Red Sonja. Go ahead, tell us about it.
It was like a fantasy kind of like more cartoony version of like what Conan tried to do. So I mean, he was still like fighting with swords, and there was like magic involved and all that stuff. I haven't seen it in years, but it was another one of the VHSs that I had because I tried to collect everything that he had done because I was so into what him and Terminator 2, everything, right? So Red Sonja is pretty dope as far as an action flick. That
Dark Shadow Logan right here.
Oh yeah, yes. Bridget Nielsen was in that.
Okay, I've not seen that. No, I did not know Bridget Nielsen was doing stuff like that, but now I know.
My favorite Bridget Nielsen role was her role in Beverly Hills Cop 2.
Oh, see, I haven't even seen that. So you got me in check now with some of these, Dustin. Man, we're gonna have to extend this movie-a-thon thing to something for the long term. But I was thinking, okay, so you were getting to these movies way back when, and so when you heard the dialogue of stuff like this, then did it fly over your head, or did you catch on right away? Because when I was I was not even born. Let's see, I was born in '87, so I did not catch this movie probably till I was like 12 or 13, Red Heat. But at the time, like, I would just laugh at the sound of Arnold's voice. That was like my humor out of it, was the sound of the voice. But it wasn't like the one-liners. And it was probably around like 15 through 18, I was taking the movies in again, figuratively, of course. And then all of a sudden I started understanding the one-liners with cocaine and I let him go and stuff like that, or Sub-Zero now Plane Zero.
Oh, dude, I watched that movie so much. I think because I started watching these when I was like in elementary school, like late elementary, early middle school. Yeah. My mom would buy us movies for Christmas, and we would just get tons of them. And so we would rent loads of movies too. We would rent like 6 VHS a week.
Oh, so you went to Blockbuster or whatever is your local store at the time? And you had to hunt movies, dude. So, oh man, you're bringing back a memory. Yes, yes, he was Elagabalus. I'm glad you mentioned that because
one of the greatest Arnold movies ever.
That's what we're doing next week. We're gonna do Commando next week.
I cannot wait for that one.
Yes, and of course, another guest will be with us next week for that one. Mark D with a C. He'll be with us next week for Commando, which I cannot wait because that movie it's so bonkers. So everyone who in the chat who's been here consistently commenting and sticking around, I appreciate you all. If you have time the next week, please watch Commando. You can probably rent it on Amazon for like $2, something like that, or just the internet's a good friend in many ways. I won't say, but. Get on it, man.
On Twitter, I'll tell you where you can watch it.
Oh, there you go.
I bought the director's cut on Amazon, so I don't know if there's going to be anything special in it because it looks like the runtime's the same. But maybe they'll be like maybe they're showing things they didn't show before. But we'll see. Because I've seen that movie 1,000 times.
No, seriously. Oh man. Oh no. Oh, Justin Norman. Hey, dude. Hey, thanks for hanging out, Normie. I appreciate it, man. Also, I finally got a little of the banner, and I like it. I'll be uploading it tonight. Thank you, dude. Take care. Yes, Commando next week. Yes. Back to our fun facts, anyways. So, the bad guy who Ivan Danko shoots on the steps in Moscow was played by one of Hungary's leading action movie stars. In an interview, he said that until he met Arnold Schwarzenegger and the others in the film, he thought of himself as a muscular and tough actor. He subsequently described himself as a small potato. That is too good. Oh, I did not. This is an interesting one. The name and signature above Ivan Danko in the hotel guest book are of Jim Morrison, lead singer of The Doors. What?
Oh, I got to go back and watch that again because I remember looking at it, but I didn't pay that close of attention.
I remember thinking I should look at whatever the names are just in case like a name stood out. But I'm like, there's probably nothing there. No, I was
wrong.
Didn't
even cross my mind.
No, it didn't. Arnie Schwartzy spent 3 months learning to speak Russian. Belushi spent 2 weeks working at a Chicago PD headquarters. I must say, it kind of showed. I actually really felt he was giving off that Chicago, police vibe in the 80s. I really bought it. And then Walter Hill wanted to use buses rather than cars in the climactic action scene because it would be more interesting. Oh, that scene was hilarious. Also, I thought it was very appropriate for Arnold. He doesn't fit well in cars. No, okay, that whole part where they're singing out like like the standoff, and then I was like, yeah. And then like the claws, and then Belushi's trying to prevent them from the swerve. He's like, he's like, you idiot, you idiot.
And you know that scene only works because those are real buses. Like that would not be nearly as compelling in 2021, knowing that everything's CG.
No, you're right. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Oh, here's an interesting. I spent more cash at movie theaters in the 80s than any other decade, and that should tell you something because this is when the movies were like what $2-3 at what was considered a good theater at the time. Like it was a big deal then. Like have that going on. Like it was just like it was kind of like I guess from what I've been told, from older people that it was just like it was like the weekly thing. Hey, what's the new movie that's out? Let's go see so and so. What's the new action movie coming out? Everyone was always expecting the summer blockbuster. Oh, Jeffo of the Jigs Division. What's up, Jeffo? I miss the high concept of era of filmmaking, dude. I feel like the concept of filmmaking in general is not even a concept anymore. But I hear you, dude. I ate Green Berets for breakfast, and right now I'm very hungry. Oh my god. Nick, will you review the Lethal Weapon franchise? I will think about it. Eric Maldonado Herrera. The whole purpose of this too with the action movies was to also highlight, I guess you could say, the movies that were a bit more overlooked. But maybe I might make an exception or two for some, I guess you could say, more known ones. And maybe we'll do one Lethal Weapon. We'll do one of them. Not saying it's the first one, but one of them we'll do because I do love that franchise. And I can imagine people would love to hear about that. Watch Commando. I beat that shit. Oh, I bet you do beat that shit, Jeffo. I bet you do in more than one way. I mean, dude, you're part of the Dix division. You beat that shit in more than one way. So,
I can't think. What's his name? Dylan. Remember when he's like, "You said you'd kill me last."
I lied.
Oh, dude. Come on, he had to kill Sully, man.
And then how about screw you, Benny? Conan is my matchup. Crush your enemies. See them driven before you and hear the lamentations of the women.
Okay, so did anybody... Okay, so when they were first in the car together and they were driving, they were chasing, and they were... Basically, they started to follow Oh Boy's girlfriend after she left the dance club or whatever, the dance studio.
Yeah,
and they were talking about how in Russia they rounded up all the drug dealers and the addicts, and they shot them all in the back of the head. And then Belushi's character was like, "Yeah, that would never happen here. The politicians would never let it happen." And he goes, "You shoot them first."
Oh. No, they really played that. I mean, I don't know, obviously, how the law works in Russia at that time period, because I know they're coming off a whole other thing. But it really, you could tell they really actually put in the work to nail what it was like culture. Because even though the stories make believe, it did give you a sense of believability that, oh, hey, this is what it's like when you're working in the Chicago office, or how things end up in Russia. Granted, I know there's some absurd decisions being made, but you did, like, as someone who's lived in Chicago, it felt like I was living in the movie in Chicago. Like, I'm like, hey, that's Chicago, man. Like, that's cool, dude. Like, it was a big deal now. First Claudia, Raquel, now Nick Weiser assigning homework. At least it's fun work. That's the whole point of this.
Yeah, I didn't know to take notes.
Well, that was Wakedown's call, and you know what? He's kind of inspired me to now do that. So I'm going to do that for Commando next week. So I'm going to take notes now, because I just kind of watched it and I'm like, we'll look at articles and go by memory. Peter Boyle was also great as the commanding officer of Chicago. Yes, he was, Logan. Yes, he was. And then it's Courtney. Just tip me some sweet money. All right, Courtney, let's see what you've done there. All right. And it's Courtney here with 777. Because you're funny. Looks are and everything. P.S. Okay. But yes, I will absolutely subscribe to your channel. Thank you. I will do that. It's Courtney. Go ahead, mods. If you can find It's Courtney's channel, put that in the chat, and we can have everyone else do that, and then I will do that. So I know the man flu is here.
Already subbed.
Oh yeah. No. Then go ahead and post it. But anyways, back to the movie. So yeah, it really did feel like. And I was just like, wow, they nailed the atmosphere, what it's like to be in Chicago. Okay, more of this. In an attempt to best convey to Arnold how he should capture the essence of his character, Walter Hill suggested that he watch Greta Garbo's performance in Ninotchka and emulate her character. Schwartzy complied and, according to Hill, got a handle on his character right away. Oh, hold on. Arnold and Belushi work later together again in Jingle All the Way, although Jim does have a cameo lot. What scene is Belushi in Jingle All the Way?
He's in the whole movie. He's I watched it every Christmas.
What?
He's in like multiple scenes in the movie, right?
I remember, was it Tom Arnold or, chat, correct me on this, fact check me. Yeah, we're fact checking.
Well, let's go can you look up Internet Movie Database and see?
No, let's look at this. I'm just like, what is,
it's the Christmas blockbuster, Jingle All the Way.
Tom Arnold was True Lies.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Tom Arnold. I'm getting my gay. Sinbad. Sinbad was in Sinbad. Look at
Ultraman.
I forgot Sinbad existed.
And then there's Anakin Skywalker, who did not age well. So, yes, where's Belushi?
He was a mall Santa.
Oh, was he?
Oh, he was the mall Santa. That's right.
Oh, okay. Who dug that one up? Whoa, David Serta. Oh my God, you guys are very, very in a generous giving mood tonight with a $5. Number 32, Flavors of Nick Weiser. I miss the dummies flying out of cars when they go over the cliff. These old movie special effects are hilarious. I agree, David Serta. And like it's Courtney. Thank you, David Serta. Appreciate that tip, and I appreciate the tip of your tip. So thank you for that. So, anyways, let's go back to our fun facts. I'm glad this is entertaining you guys. So okay, so he was.
Nick.
Oh yeah, no, throw me a bone.
All right, so the scene where they go to the prison to interrogate the Russian guy, and he tells Belushi to go fuck his mother's ass. Mm-hmm. And as they're walking away, he tells Arnold, he's like, "Have you ever seen my mother's ass?" And Arnold's like, "No." He's like, "Well, you'd want to fuck it too."
So the one thing about that scene is like, so all the guards did was take him into Gen Pop in the middle of this prison and just leave him.
And just leave him there.
Well, you're on your own. I don't think that's how that works, man. Wouldn't they put him in a room and then bring the person they want to talk to down?
Right. Who does that? This is the 80s, man.
Yeah,
everybody was high on coke.
Well, I guess the thing is nobody knew what legitimate like police work was. I mean, we're running off of Hill Street Blues and shit.
I mean, this is at a time where, once again, this is before we had the era of like the Critical Drinker and Screen Rant and whatever and Honest Trailers. You just kind of like, granted, I stand by when I say that they they nailed the atmosphere of Chicago. I really mean it when I say that they did that. They really nailed that. And it felt like, you watch it like, oh, hey, this really feels like it. But there are definitely some aspects where like, well, that doesn't make sense when you look back in retrospective. But here, right. Please return at It's Courtney's Fellowship of Oddballs. It's a great channel. Yes, I am right now. Fellowship of Oddballs. No, I'm looking up right now here. So I found her. So I'm going to post that link and I'm going to post it in the comments so you all can look at it and be like, oh, God, So yeah, go give Courtney her channel a subscribe. I just did right now. I'm now her 48th subscriber. That's really cool. And now we can continue on with our show. And I think Wakedown went off somewhere into the darkness, but it's okay. He'll be back soon. As they like to say. Okay. As they like to say, he'll be back. So okay.
I was just smoking.
So we learned that Belushi is a secret Santa, and then that's things I would never, ever, ever expect. And here's an interesting one. Walter Hill deliberately chose to tone down the Arnold persona, making him more realistic and less prone to wisecracks. I had confidence in him as an actor. I don't want to just throw a Volkswagen over a building. Arnold has the ability to communicate that cuts through cultures and countries. They just love to see this guy win, but everyone thinks it's his muscles. It's not that at all. It's his face, his eyes. He has a face that's a throwback to a warrior from the Middle Ages or ancient Greece. Okay, so that's a very interesting. It feels like he's kind of giving off the look at him on the outside, look what's on the inside type of thing, but with Hollywood dialogue.
I would tend to disagree.
Okay. What do you think he's leaning at then?
Well, no. I mean, I think you're right about what he's getting at. I disagree with his take. Like, people obviously like Arnold because he's massive and can throw a Volkswagen over a building.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Nobody looks at Arnold and goes, he has really pretty eyes.
Right. Yeah, Arnold, you're just really, really. Your eyes look amazing. I don't see something like, what, you're the Al Pacino of this movie. I
don't see Arnold, holding his own in Scent of a Woman.
Right. But no, I kind of want to see that now.
Yeah, right. Now it kind of gets you in the attempt of well, now I want to see it. I like when he mentions the whole I wanted to tone down the persona, which I do disagree with that line because I feel like at some parts it kind of enhanced his lines because when he used stuff like cocaine, man, well, I don't want to touch his ass. You're gonna tell me that wasn't toning down? I get the approach of what you're going for, but dude, come on, that's what you're going for when you want to wisecracks with lines like that. Come on, man. It. Just admit it.
He literally, in the scene where you said where he knocks old boy's leg off and he dumps the cocaine out. If you look at Arnold's face, he looks like he's jacked up on cocaine. He's like, cocaine
Did anyone else when he popped the dude's leg off and then he just poured it out? What? I don't understand why. Who thought it would be a good idea to just pour loose cocaine in a leg?
Even better, doesn't he need that for evidence?
Yeah, he just poured it on the ground.
Right.
Should it be in some bags? I mean, I know it's probably more efficient for storage to just pour it in there, but you can't really just scoop it out to people when they're walking by. You want cocaine? Here you go. Just take off a leg and just scoop it out.
David Sir Arnold showing Wang in Terminator. I feel like that was every Terminator that he was in minus the Christian Bale flick. I mean, I don't know if he showed, but it was just he always showed up in the movie naked. I remember people were oh, did they even see you? He's like, no, I don't think anyone actually saw me naked. Which I'm yeah, that's bullshit. Someone did. But anyways, Walter Hill had wanted to reteam with Arnold for an untitled prison picture, but it never materialized. It makes me wonder if, because he ended up doing later in life that prison movie with Stallone. What was it called? Escape Plan. Where he that line where he gets decked in the face by Stallone's character in the trailer, and then Hall's love is you're like a vegetarian. First off, what the hell does that line even mean? Because if I got punched in the face by Stallone, I don't even care. He may be old as fuck, but I would not want to get punched by Stallone today. I'd run for my dear life.
70.
He's 70.
But I still wouldn't want to get punched by him.
Right?
Like Mike Tyson's coming up on 50. I don't want him to punch me either.
Right? I don't even want like a minimalized punch. I'm like, no, I don't want that.
I don't even want him to nudge me in line. I don't know.
You nudge, and you'll fly the other aisle. You'll be in produce by the time you even try to get near group. But okay, what does that line mean? Because like, are you implying that vegetarians hit hard? Because if you're trying to imply that he hits weak, I don't. Dude, no. From Stallone, bro, come on.
Well, I mean, Arnold and Stallone had like a massive rivalry in the 80s, and
That's true.
they kind of realized by the time that they made or started doing those movies like Escape Plan and Expendables that it was profitable to play up on that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's true. In Russia, you don't need evidence. Cocaine. Jacob Archer Barton. Hail. Good evening, my friend. And a good evening to you, sir. What's up, man? So, oh, man. I just, once again, Escape Plan. That maybe I have not, I don't know if I've actually seen that one. Maybe that had to be some top up. But right now, Commando is the top one. And I don't know what we're doing after that, but we're going to figure it out. But we're going to look at more. Ooh, this is a real interesting one. Red Heat was partially recut to be a shorter movie. Amongst the scenes which were deleted, there was an entire part of the plot cut which included Victor's wife, Kat, trying to help Art and other cops to set up a trap for Victor, and a part during the baseball game. Oh, yeah, during the baseball game. Well, he is on some deal, but it turns out that Victor was lying to Kat, and cops are left empty-handed. Removal of these scenes and some others is reason why, right after the hotel shoot-up between Danko and Cleanheads, last act of the movie seems too fast-paced and not really that well explained. Novelization of the movie, however, includes all deleted scenes. Well, that is actually a really interesting one, because fairly honest here, I did not notice that was like something wrong. Like, whoa, this really is very paced out here. I didn't feel like this like rush. Did you guys feel that? I didn't. I mean,
it always kind of felt choppy to me anyway.
Okay, I didn't notice it. Maybe I was just too busy enjoying the masculinity.
Yeah, I thought there was a couple of scenes that I noticed and took note of where like major plot points happen off camera. It's like when
go ahead and mention some.
Gets arrested, the wife gets murdered. You know, all of those things, it's just kind of weird. You see them in one scene, and then in the next scene, it's like some shit's happened you had no idea about.
Yeah, no, that movie. Anyways, in another one, like, Walter Hill described the film as, in an odd way, it's a traditional love story between these two guys. I would say I could definitely felt the bromance between the two. Oh, guys, we missed one. Twins.
That's one of my favorite movies.
Dude.
We watched that a bunch of times when I was a kid, my brother and I.
That is a glorious movie.
That movie is literally, for me, that's an all-time great. Don't get me wrong, I love Red Heat, but Twins is just like, there's something special about Arnold and DeVito. They really had great chemistry on screen together. It was just like, and it was a comedy. And they were just trying to find their mom? But yeah, find their mom. That's all it was, of the simplest story. But it was so executed beautifully. And that's all that matters in life. Something, you don't always have to have the most complex thing to make something good. You just gotta tell something really well, and the rest is history. And Ella Gablis here with a very interesting comment. I'm still not convinced Arnold, Stallone, and Willis actually appeared together in the first Expendables movie. The blocking, editing smells of green screen. You know, I would have to rewatch that scene to get a feel for that, because the last time I saw it was day one in the movie theaters. I think that was like 2009 when the first Expendables.
2010.
Oh, it was 2010. Okay, so 2010. Thank you for the correction. I remember seeing it and I remember not being blown away, but enjoying, just because it was just a brogasm of all these dudes getting together on screen. So I enjoy it for what it was, even though I could recognize its flaws. But I didn't really think of oh man, this movie looks like it was green screen. But watch, I say that now, and I'll watch that now. 11 years later, I'm like, wow, these guys look like they're totally not in the same room. I just remember the whole quote about What's wrong with them? Oh, he just wants to be president because that's where I think
Yes.
Arnold was really, really wanting to be the president. He had just come. He was still in office in California. So, like, the whole idea is, how do I become president even though I'm not born here? Oh, I'm dipping. Seems watching YouTube does not work. I better actually do it. Dexy Duel, I appreciate you hanging out. You don't have to be watching while you're working, but thank you for hanging out and tuning in with us. I'll see you soon, and of course, we'll be here next week again for Yelling at Park Cars, and of course for Commando. Take care. Okay, where were we? Where were we, gents? Oh yeah, the Expendables. Yeah, I didn't notice it, but whatever,
Do you
nowadays, what?
remember Junior?
Oh, yeah.
That was a movie that I watched it, but that was kind of after. So after Kindergarten Cop, I slowed down and didn't own as many. I don't think I bought any VHS or owned any of his movies after that. But I just remember watching that movie, and the premise was like, okay, it just was not it had no rewatch value.
No, it did not. I
What's
think
the shock value?
I liked I did dig Eraser. I think that was 96. And then of course he got really into bizarre territory when he was Mr. Freeze. And we all know where that went. We're not gonna go there, but we all know where that went with all his ice puns. But yeah, did you got any notes on some of the choppiness of Wait Down? Because I know you and Dustin were mentioning. I would like to see where you can point out some of the minor inconsistencies of this still enjoyable film if you got them. If not, I got a fun fact I want to read out.
Well, I kind of already mentioned the two that stood out to me.
Okay, the most then? Okay, cool.
I mean, to me, I didn't know there was a subplot missing, but it's just one of those movies, and you're kind of watching it now, kind of watching an 80s movie with today's kind of eyes. It's like the like the plot and the story, it's kind of like, well, why did they get here? Why, I mean, there's just some little things that are missing, but nothing that, I mean, it didn't ruin the movie. I mean, it still was a decent movie, but the movie, when I finished watching the movie, I was kind of like, well, what were they going for? Was this like supposed to be like a serious action movie, or was it supposed to be like a funny buddy cop movie? It never quite got clearly defined.
I felt like it was going for a funny buddy cop movie. It just happened to be that the villains themselves were serious because of, well, the situation, fleeing a country. And you also realize how credible the villain was because he's really putting them. One thing, I know questionable decisions he made aside, but the actor, Edo Russ, he really made them, he really took them to their limit. He really did. And he took that fight to the very bitter end. Like he was getting the drop on them every chance that they could get. So that's what I got out of it, at least on my end. But another fun fact here: in the scene in the coffee shop after the shootout in the hospital, Rizek shows Danko the different kind of police reports. The title on the report shown by the camera is "Worthless Document Case Report." Chicago Police. Oh, that is freaking funny. Oh, this is good. Appropriately enough, when Belushi's getting to know Arnie better by asking questions in the diner scene, the jukebox is playing Acker Bilk's Stranger on the Shore. Oh, hey, Arnie and Lawrence Fishburne, or else in this case, Larry, they share the same birthday of July 30th. Oh, well, that's kind of cool, actually. I can get down with that.
Are there any filming locations in this?
Yes. I mean, besides there being literal Chicago, I do think that I'm trying to look here to see if they got it on here because I do know they filmed some stuff in Russia as well. I do believe they actually filmed some stuff in Russia. I'm looking around here. I don't seem to be. I mean, you can, if you want, you can assist me and you can try to find on your end. But right now, I'm not getting here. But we'll look at some of the goofs.
Well, there are some recognizable Russian landmarks in the beginning.
True. Oh, yeah, that's right.
I mean, there's the Kremlin and then, and all that. But I just kind of want to know, like, was that filmed for the video or was it filmed for the movie or was that like stock footage?
Oh yeah, oh I see what you're getting at. Well, this one thing right here, the film applied for a permit to film in the Red Square, but the application was denied. So the crew had to sneak film the Red Square scenes. They dressed Arnold up in uniform and filmed him as though making an amateur home movie with just a couple of crew people present. Oh, okay. Well,
Sneaky.
yeah, right. Actually, who would have thought Hollywood was rebellious back then to do such a thing? I would have never thought. Okay, well, that tells you what you need to know. I'm curious to see what the goofs are, because this could make for some goofy stuff here. Around 1:20:57, we heard Shrew say, "It's him." Then he turns his head and we see his loops moving without sound. I don't remember that part. That must not have been anything of notable. The dead gangster slightly blink their eyes when their photos are taken. I love it when that little type of little things happen. Like, oh look, I saw the dead body every time. How often do you guys look when you see a dead body? You hope to see it move.
Like see him breathe.
At the funeral of Danko's partner, the year of death on his tombstone says 1988. Later on, when Danko checks in at a motel, the day he writes in the book is somewhere in 1987. Oh! When Danko is handed the property release form for Rasta at the Chicago PD, also lists the date as 87. Ooh.
It's official. He's a time
Well, it probably would
traveler.
have been filmed in 87, released in 88.
Oh yeah, no, that's definitely what it was. It's just the fact that when they they're writing down that they're living in 87, even though the movie, but we all get it. When Danko accuses Streak of lying, Ridzik says he has the right to do so in the U.S. This is incorrect. I know a police officer is a crime. Something doing it can be in charge of obstructing a peace officer. Oh man. Oh, here's one. The movie is set in Chicago, but palm trees are visible during the street chase. Well, there was stuff from Chicago, as I mentioned earlier, with the Blue Line and also on Wacker Drive. It's like a subway based street. I don't know how well you know Chicago, Dustin, but if you remember one of the roads called Wacker, and they go like this weird, like it's like a tunnel thing. It's easy to mess up when you're like, if you're trying to get out of the city and you're like, and when you go down that tunnel, like your Google Maps or whatever it is you use to like locate yourself, it does not like gel well, like trying to drive on there, because it does not tell directions well from that under there at all. Well, it's pretty terrible. Like, you're like, oh no, I've had some suspenseful times driving up there, but here we go. Errors in geography. It says the first street scene in Chicago features an LA Metro bus. Oh, and LA street signs. Well, the scenes at the supposedly Chicago O'Hare Airport are clearly filmed at LA International. Ooh, well then they sold me on O'Hare, because that looked just like O'Hare. So I guess maybe LA International looks like it. I guess
I've never been to O'Hare, but I've been to LAX.
LAX, okay, is that supposed to be the same as international? Because I've never been. Oh,
but I've flown in and out of Midway before, but I've never flown through O'Hare.
Oh, okay. Hot dog, dude. Revealing mistakes at the beginning of the movie when Arnold jumps out of the sauna window with one of the villains. You can clearly see a stunt doubler instead of Arnold. After the cross-dressing nurse shoots the air bubble into the Russian man in the hospital, the man's supposed to be dead. But the next screenshot of the two, you can see the dead man is moving head side to side. In the hotel shootout scene, just before the cleanhead starts shooting at Arnold, the small charge designed to look like a bullet hit goes off where the actual shot is fired. Ooh. We got some big inconsistencies on this. I mean,
I got
once
one
again,
for you that they missed.
Go ahead.
At the end, where the train runs into the bus, it's for a minute. There's a shot of the bus backlit by a bunch of lights, and you can clearly see that there's nobody inside of it.
Mm-hmm. I did not notice that.
Wasn't it like the bus had like LED lights running down the side? It's when it was like, it looked like it had like extra LED lights on it for some reason, but they didn't have LED lights back then.
Yeah.
Oh, 80s.
It was really bright.
Yeah, it was weird. It was like they had Christmas lights on it.
Whoa, Lola meets Thanks for subscribing, Lola Meats. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you very much. That makes me like 400 or 401 or something. Thank you. Okay, we got some quotes here. This should be very this is where it's gonna get interesting. Hooligan. Hey, you asshole! You can't park here. This is my spot. I live up right there. So move your piece of shit car. Give me $50. I do not understand. Let me make it real simple, moron. You move your ass or give me 50. Or I take my Pete Rose here and fucking mutilate your car. Do you know Miranda? Never heard of the bitch. Hooligani. Everything okay? Oh, that's after he punches him on cuts. Yes, fine, no problems. Once again, people, if you've seen the scene, you'll understand. For those who are probably listening to the chat, you're like, well, I don't get it. If you see the scene, it plays out beautifully. It really does.
It's even better when Belushi shows back up to the car. He's like, "What's up with the guy out there on the sidewalk?" And Arnold's just like, "He lives here."
Oh, here's that line from earlier. Now I'm gonna do my best, Belushi, about this pile of shit pimping here. In this country, we try to protect the rights of individuals. It's called the Miranda Act, and it says, "Yeah, you can't even touch his ass." I do not want to touch his ass. I want to make him talk. Oh my god! Seriously, that line. Oh, and this one, yeah, as I mentioned earlier, with the whole pop, like culturally unaware. And Captain Dako, congratulations! You are now the proud owner of the most powerful handgun in the world, Soviet Podbrin, 9.2 millimeter is world's most powerful handgun. Oh come on! Everybody knows a 44 Magnum is the big boy on the block. Why do you think Dirty Harry uses it? Who is Dirty Harry? Oh my god. Revolutionary political leaders like myself are incarcerated. Keep us quiet. What is your political crime? I robbed a bank.
Yeah. About that, he tells Arnold at one point that he's been in prison for like 26 years and he's 38. So he robbed a bank when he was 12?
Yeah. Did he say he was 38?
Yeah.
Or how old is he? He said he was 38 and he's been there 26 years?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No sound one. What's that, Scott Jennings of the Dix division? What do you mean, Scott? Good filmmakers get it done. Well, yeah, they do. Obviously, in the 80s, they had their imperfections, but we still love these movies for what they were. So it is what it is. So, anyways, let's go to another one. There's this scene where Arnold's watching porn on the TV, and he just feels capitalism.
Because he had to put money in it. He put like 50 cents in it.
I got the line this line, you guys, when I say the line, you should know, this is that line that would have not flown in today's movie, show, you name it. When they were in the parking lot garage, and they're being chased by those guys, and then Belushi's like, "Oh, great, we got a pro basketball team coming towards us with guns."
Yeah.
That scene, because you know how hypersensitive the world is. People see that nowadays, be like, "Whoa, what's going on here? Oh, hey, we lost Dustin.
I'm still here. Can you still hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay.
So I can't
I'm working
see
on the
you.
camera.
Okay, cool. Hey, the Islington girl, a member of the Vag Guard reporting in. Hey, welcome, Islington girl. We've been talking about the movie Red Heat today. So that's been our new spiel that we got going on. So we've been talking about, so the Vag Guard is always welcome here, along with the Dix Division. Thanks to all Vages and all Dicks. Thank you. But yeah, seriously, that line, because way down where I'm coming from with that. So I go, oh, well, look at those guys who he said that about.
You couldn't get away with that today.
Mm-hmm.
You probably couldn't get away with the one a few blocks up.
No, you couldn't. What's that? My watch. It's on Moscow time. Time to pick up Pokey. Time to feed Parakeet. What's that? Russian for jerking off? Oh my god. Oh my god. These lines are just, oh man. I'm looking for ones that really stand out here. Jazz ball, yeah. Yeah, what, you attire uniform? I know we're gonna go. Oh yeah, what, you attire uniform? I now work undercover. Undercover? You look like Gumby. How you
Oh, I
doing,
loved how
hon?
he kept calling him Gumby throughout the whole movie.
Oh, I know, right? It was like a main theme, like it was a reoccurring. I was like, oh, he's just gonna be Gumby. Or, how you doing? How you blow yourself? Thank you very much. Good thinking. From the hooker who told Belushi that. Oh man, I'm gonna bust that bitch so hard she bounces. Oh, that's another one. Oh my
I like where
god.
where she told Belushi in the gym. She's like, "Fuck you." He's like, "No, I'm good. I've got a headache and good taste," or something like that.
Yeah. Oh, Fowls Dick's Division reporting. Hey, what's up, pop culture archivist? Who is Dirty Hair? Oh, Eric. We just. I don't know if you had tuned out for a few minutes, but we just did that line. Kind of want to now. Oh, I've heard this movie, but I've not seen it. Well, it's got a lot of 80s flaws because that was the 80s, but you absolutely should see it because it's just super entertaining. It's fun, and it just, you understand the ridiculous over the topness of what the A's were, and people didn't really, I guess you could say, nitpick everything as much. I mean, obviously we're doing that now here, but still enjoying the greatness of this movie. But different times were had in the world. It's amazing what would have happened if you had lived in a time where there was a critical drinker of the 80s. Can you imagine that? Whoa. Thanks, Cobra on my left, Leopard on my right. Thank you for subscribing. Where are these subscribers coming from? Where is this coming from? I don't. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm happy and I'm thankful, but
They
I
love
didn't.
you.
I guess so. Whoa, Ella Gabba, you just gave me money. I mean, you. Thank you, but I guess I gotta go look at what I did for the. So Nick Weiser for $5. Should I purchase Commando? I'm not kidding. Theatrical cut is 90 minutes long. The director's cut is 91 minutes. That must be one awesome fucking minute.
I hope so because I bought the director's cut. So
I would say if it's $5 from the $5 Walmart bin, dude, buy it. It's absolutely worth the watch. I mean, I don't know if you drink, but Elagabalus, if you do, get your beer, get your whiskey. If you're straight edge, get your water, whatever. Get your best drink possible. Or if you like weed, get your weed, and you're just gonna like untune your brain, and you're just gonna watch all the ridiculousness of this movie unflow. That's how I can describe this. You're not meant to be think about deep life choices and think about where you would be in 200 years from now, which no one of us will be. But I'm just bullshitting with the whole concept. Is all from good stream, dude. I hope, man. I really do. I still I question myself all the time. I'm thinking more like, what the fuck, what the fuck. Like type of thing. Well, I wasn't on Coke because I was like 7. It was the best time to be a kid. Well, I did like Coca-Cola. Always
we have pixie
Coca-Cola.
sticks though.
Oh, dude. Remember those pixie sticks? Oh my god, dude. I remember like kids when I was in like middle school, everyone was like kind of snorting with the pixie sticks. Oh, dude, kids were nuts when I was in middle school. I may have done a time or two just because everyone just wanted to kind of out stupid the other. I mean, I'm sure you had seen your moments of stupidity in middle school. I remember, God, there's this one candy I kind of ate it like I was a damn lizard. I can't remember. It was an Airheads based candy. I can't remember. God damn it. It's a toxic man flew here. This is what I always told the girls, that 1 minute is
People pay hundreds of dollars for that minute.
You just really got to sell it.
You almost made me fall off my chair. I've never fallen off my chair before since I've owned this chair, but that almost did it right there. Oh, dude, please talk to you. That was some shit. Oh, Oh, hey, Mark D of the C here. Mark, thank you. Look right here, guys. I know since people are wondering, hey, where can I watch it if they want to do it? Like, I guess you could say by legal methods. This is a perfect way right here. You can rent Commando for $4. And I'm telling you, man, that $4 is worth it. You have spent $5 on crappy coffee, gas that's gonna blow through on your Jeep or your Chevy or Ford or your Honda. You have spent $5 on gambling that amounted to nothing. But this $4 here is special. This $4 here is gonna entitle you to greatness. Feel good about this $4. Man, Mark, you are a human advertisement. Own the movie on Blu-ray. And as someone who loves to own physical copies, I may even just buy this because I'm a big fan of owning the movies physically, especially nowadays. We're in an age with Amazon and the whole like, if you buy the movie digitally, you still don't even own it because if someone all of a sudden wakes up one day and says, "This movie's problematic. I don't like this, guys," and it gets removed from Amazon, Amazon will literally remove your digitally owned copy. So it's like you own it, but you don't own it. So well, then that defeats the point of the digital because the whole gist of the digital idea was to not save up space for those who were very big about having a condensed space of living. But now you've taken that away when you're censoring and taking away movies that people literally bought. I mean, Dustin, wouldn't you feel the least bit slightest like what the hell? I just dropped $25 on this movie, and now you're taking away from me?
Well, I know that that's something that we're getting into, and I know that. I mean, because I don't really have any physical copies of anything anymore. We had this discussion on music podcasts before, but
yeah,
I think really it's. If you're purchasing that, then you should have access. So even if they do decide to go ahead and remove it, I think they should still leave it in your library.
Well, yeah, that.
But I don't know. I don't know. Has there been precedent made of that? I don't know of any.
There has. Gone with the Wind. Gone with the Wind was eventually there was some pushback to a point where they put it back on. But when they put it back on, they had like a disclaimer because nowadays the world's very sensitive with everything, and. The whole gist, but the thing is, when they took it off, they took off for everyone, and now I think Apple might be facing a lawsuit too with that, with the whole their whole streaming service. They're having issues too because with the whole digital thing, where if the movie's pulled, it's just like it's one thing if you watch it on a platform like a Netflix. We all know eventually it's got to go, but if you literally bought it, where you spent what $20-$25 for a digital copy, you should be able to own it. Whether it's pulled from there or not,
I mean, realistically, too. Like say you own a physical copy of an album, you still don't own the rights to the music. So if something happens to that physical copy, it gets lost, stolen, broke, scratched, whatever, you still can't say, "Well, I paid you money for this. Can you send me another one?" You still have to go buy it.
Well, yeah,
if it's out of print, you can't get it anymore. So I mean, it's kind of been one of those things over the years that.
Well, it gets even murkier when you look at, like, say, an MMORPG where people spend thousands and thousands of dollars and then one day those servers just shut down.
Ooh, Pat S here, $1.50. Yes, there you go. Come out for $1.50. Well, the thing is, I'm like, as Dustin, when we talked with Kyle from the same, we were big CD guys. I've never. I think I've only bought one or two albums twice, and that's just because I blew up the disc. And I've always said, though, if I had actually lost an album in my life, I would just own up to it and just buy it again. It would be now as far as missing movies. I try to own as many physical, especially nowadays if they're going to alter movies to like take out things that they deem problematic. It's just like, well, I want the original cut of the movie. If they're going to alter movies, then yeah, I do want the physicals for that alone. I mean, I was always into supporting what I love from the beginning, but seeing them remove things, it's just like, well, now I have to own even more because all it takes is for someone to be mad some movie exists, and what if they end up removing it for good? Then you have to own the physical copy to watch it. So
yeah, and I kind of wonder about that too, like with Disney Plus doing that with various movies.
Yeah.
And I mean, even with like E.T. and stuff, where they went and took out all the shotguns and replaced them with walkie-talkies.
Yeah, like what's the need for that? Like, there's no need for that. Like, what is that solving when you're doing
It's
that?
not solve. It's practice. They're seeing how far they can push the limits and controlling the narrative.
Yeah, that's absolutely true too. And Dark Shadow Logan here. I have physical media, then convert to external drive, stream them through my PC. This is a good alternative way of going about it, because that way, when you put it on there, you have the version of the movie you like to watch. A, B, you don't have to worry about wearing out your physical copies. So this is actually, I like this, Dark Shadow. I like this. I like this a lot. And then Bone, I still have like 30 or 40 VHS movies. I don't think I'm going to watch it again, but I don't want to throw them away. Sometimes nostalgia is a very real thing. I mean, I think I was like 10 or 11 when DVD was new. I was all in on DVD right away. Like, I know we're kind of shifting here, but I feel like we've kind of peaked with Red Heat. Unless you guys got anything to add, but I was all in on DVD. It was just like, oh, it looks cool. The discs were slimmer. I was all in on that whole format at the time. But then all of a sudden you see Blu-ray. It's kind of like, I imagined it had to have been what people growing up on vinyl felt when they saw CDs come. It's like, do I really need to buy every album again? Now do I need to buy every movie again?
No, and I think like the transition from VHS to DVD was a big enough jump, going from 480 to 1080 or HD or whatever. And I think that jumped ahead of the TVs. So when TVs went widescreen, and then we made that jump from DVD to Blu-ray, I don't think a lot of the movies that we grew up with that we had warranted being in Blu-ray. I think being on Blu-ray ruined some of them, to where keeping them on DVD or VHS made more sense.
Oh no, I hear you. I mean, especially with the original Star Wars movies where they added in unnecessary touches of CGI. It's just like, if I'm gonna watch the original trilogy, I just might as well watch them unaltered. And they've never ever released those on Blu-ray since the merger happened with Disney. Dude, I see a liquid death in back of you to your side, dude.
Both of them.
Hold on, let me highlight that. I'm gonna. Let's see that liquid death. I want to see that. Show me it. Put it in front of the camera. I want to see it. Dude. Oh, beer. Yes. Oh, yes.
I had to have them. I figured that if they would sponsor me, I would totally drink one every episode. But
as you should, yeah.
Because these are like $2 a piece, and it's just water.
Dude.
So they're cooler sitting here. And I've got these hands.
Dude, those hands, where'd you get those?
My son-in-law is a welder, and he made it for me. He made this one.
Yeah.
And then he made this one as well.
Oh my god. Nice. Oh, dude, that's nice. Oh, that's killer, dude. Oh my god, I love that. All right, we got some comments here. Hello, Gabless. I don't think I can download the movies I've purchased on Amazon. I thought I had the option previously. That may have happened after that whole Gone with the Wind thing happened, Ella. I don't know for sure, but I do know there was a time where you can do that if you had purchased the movie. But I don't know how it's been like going forward when they re-upload after the pushback. Now, Mark D with the C, the next generation will be screwed when physical media goes away. Now, Mark D, that's an interesting comment, because I did read a piece, I think it was from Alice Cooper a year back. I know it's delving into music, but I feel like it's important. But he mentioned how he saw younger kids buying music. I mean, literally buying music. And when I was at a record store a little bit over years ago, I remember I think I was the only one in the CD aisle, but I did see tons of people younger than me too that were looking at vinyl and buying vinyl. And granted, I know it's Chicago, and it's just to say it's not your everyday town, but it gives you an idea. At least the whole gist is Alice Cooper said that the next wave coming up, he feels like they're actually supporting music, and I just hope that that's gonna translate into movies. Well, I think it's not that they don't want to buy movies. I think the generation incumbent is looking for movies that they can enjoy to call their own. But the problem is Hollywood is so obsessed with remake city that generation's not getting much to call their own. Like, they had the era of the Marvel movies but that's obviously adaptations. What do they have that's like an original idea? There's not a whole lot out there. New Bomb Turk, hail panel and chat. What's up, New Bomb Turk? Thanks for dropping by, dude. Yeah. Oh, pop culture is a comment here. I know people that have went all digital, and I said if your internet goes down, you have none of your movies. I can always power up a generator, pop a DVD, and ooh, that's a good point too. Here, I'm glad we got some input here. No, this is yeah. I mean, if your internet does go out, which I know my buddy Sir talks about, he had his internet was down for a few days, and he look. I should ask him how he handled watching anything because I don't know if he is all relying on streaming. I realize my TV. I have a Roku TV, so oh boy. I can have it on without having internet connection, but I know it can play like video games. But problem is nowadays, what video game doesn't come out that's not connected online? I couldn't tell you. You guys are coming at me here with the comments, man. Please never buy anything downloadable from Amazon because they'll screw you over. I've had many friends I've heard the stories. Pop culture. I'm assuming you must be Jed. I've heard the stories. NZBs are a thing. I can find and download just about any movie I'm looking for. Here we go. Oh man, you guys are. Vinyl is definitely coming back. Maybe not huge, but it's there. Yes. CDs get wormholes back. Yeah, I've been backing up my CDs. I have been backing up. It's been quite excellent here. Whoa, what? Wait down. All right, guys, wait down here. Want something from a certain YouTuber. You may have heard of him. He gets around the world. He is known by one Gina Carano. He goes by the name Drunk 3PO. And the wait down. Why don't you show us what you got from Drunk 3PO?
So I won just a couple days ago. This arrived from the John Bartolo show in conjunction with Drunk 3PO. This is a pulsar digital thermal sight. It has a record function, a range finder, all kinds of cool features built into it. I think it's worth like $1,600 or some shit. And I won this just by tweeting out something that Drunk 3PO was talking about in one of his streams like a week ago.
Dude! Oh my god!
So shout out to Drunk 3PO and John Bartolo. It's epic.
Wow! Literal shout out to Drunk 3PO. Dude, how does someone like that just pass away something like that?
I don't know. You don't look a gift horse in the mouth where I'm from. I was like, cool.
I've won ammo from YouTubers before, but
oh, that's cool.
Nice.
Where'd you get your ammo from?
It was a YouTuber that's not around anymore. At least she hasn't posted in a long time. But they did like a giveaway, and I won some 22 long rifle ammo.
Nice, dude. Nice.
Free bullets are free bullets.
Oh, I still have them. They're like in a can, like a plastic lid. You have to pop the top like some Pringles. So I still got those. I don't live in Chicago, so I can have whatever I want.
Oh yeah, that's true. Your gun laws seem to be a bit better over in Indiana. Me and Illinois just got corruption in every sense of the word. Mark D with a C. I love physical media, but it is a niche. Companies can make more money with digital. Look at video games. Most get digital copies now. That's a good point too, Mark. I mean, that's the thing, man. I know you got your epic collection of your figures, your statues, your literally everything you own. Like man, you have the collection. I mean, I was watching you earlier when you're showing off the stuff on Lorena Creel's show and tell. That was, I mean, I've already seen your stuff before on the Global Geek Gang, dude, but seeing it again, just like, it still blows my mind. Guys, I mean, and Mark D, he's another mod of mine. He has a channel as well, and he builds things. I know I'm doing another shameless plug here, but he builds things. He can build things, and he's done streams where he's done that. And I almost feel like I want to take influence from him and do some building, because I was eyeing at that Daily Bugle Spider-Man Lego set. I was just like, bro, I have to have that. Like, but then I gotta think, maybe down the line that could be something I do. But anyways,
I found Mark D's channel in the middle of the night the other day at like 2 a.m. and just watched for like 3 hours while they talked about my home state of Louisiana.
talking
about fried chicken.
Perfect.
I make fried chicken on my channel.
Yeah, no, hey
Don't
guys.
tell me that.
Kettle Simple, man. My guy here to the left here. So, yeah, he makes chicken. I mean, I haven't had chicken with him in a while. I think last time we ate together, we had pizza. We
Yeah, we
had
had
pizza
pizza up in
over.
Milwaukee.
Yeah, after Ghost, we had pizza at the Ghost. I remember that was wild. At the what was that place? The Turner Hall. That was a beautiful place, dude.
Yeah,
God,
it was nice. It was still under construction, but it was a lot of fun.
oh my God, and that was right before the peak of when Ghosts were on that stage, that phase of blowing up, and now we got to see what was one of the last shows that they'll ever play like that, because that was such a unique time, and to think, wow, we could say we were there for that. But all right, anyways, we're gonna look at some stuff again. We're gonna highlight some Arnold movies. So obviously next week we got Commando coming up. I'm assuming you guys are both in on it with me. Assuming if you're available, of course. I don't want to say, hey, you have to be here with me. If you guys are down, Dustin, Wake Down. I know I got Mark D, and I think I got that 70s rock fan joining as me as well. But that would be awesome if you guys are available. But we'll look at some more movies we could talk about.
Actually, I kind of need to roll out here shortly.
Okay, that's fine. Because why don't you plug your channel? Because we're gonna rotate with another guest. We'll swing by for another 15 minutes. So the Wake Down, plug in your channel, sir.
All right. Well, my name is Rob. You can find me at the Wake Down. I do all kinds of shit. I make funny videos about Kathleen Kennedy. I make movie reviews and book reviews, and I do podcast interviews, all kinds of stuff. Check it out.
Yes, check it out. Check out the Wake Down, guys. Subbed him. He did a great video making fun of our boy Foulball for crushing on Brie Larson, and it's as great as it sounds. So go check out Wake Down. Thanks for hanging out. I'll see you next Tuesday. All right, dude.
Yes, sir.
Take
Appreciate
care.
See you next Tuesday.
Yeah, I'll literally see you next Tuesday. Go
See you next Tuesday. Get to the party. Is there a party here?
Yes, well, we are close to winding down. Probably got like 15 minutes left, but that's somebody's rock fan. This is Dustin.
Hey, Dustin.
Hey,
how are you, dude? I'm sorry I'm late, buddy. I am sorry I'm late. I missed the party.
Did you
Was it
actually?
fun?
Oh, it's been fun. Did you actually get a chance to catch Red Heat?
Well, it's funny. I actually watched it again about 8 or 9 months ago. When I was not employed in the last year, I decided to watch all Arnie movies again right from the beginning.
Nice.
Even Hercules.
Nice.
And yeah, so I did see it again. I really enjoyed it. I have to say, I look back on those early Schwarzenegger movies, the pre-Terminator stuff and pre-Fame stuff, or pre-Super Fame stuff. It's really good. He just, for what the parts were, he played them perfectly. I mean, Red Heat particularly, you can absolutely believe he is this monolithic East or Russian or East German, wasn't it? East German cop, very emotionless, get to the chopper. So I loved Red Heat, and because putting him together with a kind of wise ass comedian Belushi.
Yeah.
Hercules in New York with the dub. Yeah, we even watched that one. Yeah.
No.
I loved Red Heat. I thought it was good fun, and there was a lot of laughs in it, and especially at the end when he rips him off with a wristwatch at the end. I kills me. You think this guy doesn't know what he's doing? He knows what he's doing.
I'm glad you mentioned the watch, because he's just like he's like, this is my watch, and like all of a sudden Belushi just like, oh god, I gotta return the favor somehow, so he gives him his expensive watch, and I'll just let him know, it's like, oh, that was just $20.
This is a Rolex, gold Rolex. Yeah, great. This is an East German.
Well, I mean, I thought at first when I was like the first time I watched it, because first time I'd watched it in a long time, and when he pulled the watch off and he was like, "Here, I paid $1,000 for this watch," I was thinking, "You're so full of shit." That's why I thought it was like he was trying to be like, "Oh, this is worth so much money," and then he hands him the watch and he looks at his, "Oh, it's made in East Germany." He's like all bummed out, like,
Yeah, you could be right because maybe it was a rip-off. Yeah, it wasn't a real Rolex or whatever. It could have been a rip-off anyway. Like Belushi's could have been a knockoff too. You just don't know.
Yeah.
Did you even watch Stay Hungry?
I think I saw that back in the day, but I don't, because that had what's her name in it? From Smoking the Bandit. She was in it, right?
Yeah, it's isn't that the Jeff Bridges?
Oh God! See, you got me.
The girl. Here. She was the girl from Smoking the Bandit was in Stay Hungry with him.
Oh, Sally Field. Yeah,
Sally Fields. Yeah.
Well, actually,
I saw it when I was younger.
Yeah, I didn't watch it in that spate of Arnie's, but I've watched it a couple of years ago. I've seen it a few times, that one, because that's actually a really good movie. That's a Bob Rafelson directed movie and written.
Man,
and directed.
Logan coming at it hot with the comments. He's a pastor. I feel like Logan has seen like everything we're talking about. He's just like he's like clobbering times with the movies. He just knows. So thank you, Logan. Awesome.
Yeah. It's interesting though that Nick.
Go ahead.
That Schwarzenegger was really cast against type in Stay Hungry as a bodybuilder. I mean, that was he was cast against type. I mean, the director took a chance there, casting him as a bodybuilder.
You know, we were reading some like fun facts on the movie earlier 70s, and they were talking about how like they were trying to reduce his wisecracks down for this movie because they wanted him to be, just this like big, super stoic guy. Which I'm glad Wake Down mentioned, because if you really think about it, I mean, we all give him crap for his acting, but to be very fair, he did pull off being a super stoic, like out of touch with American culture person. Like he did pull it off well. Like if I didn't know him, I would be like, man, this guy, he needs to get with the times. He's in Chicago, bro. What are you doing? Have a hot dog already or something.
I think it was the fact that he didn't even he may or may not have been in or out of touch with it. He didn't care.
Oh yeah, that's true. He was very he was just so obsessed with the mission. You're right. No, you're right. You're right. 70s.
Yeah, he didn't care. I think he was completely indifferent to it because he was so focused on the mission. But I think he was fairly aware of what was going on. But then on the other hand, he didn't give a damn what was going on in Chicago. He was just going to rampage through it to get what he wanted.
Now, do we think he was so like because he was so focused on the mission, or he was so focused on being a good Russian?
I think it was the mission. I don't think I think that being a good Russian was came as a matter of course. And I don't think I got the impression, I mean, it's hard to read into a script and like one I read Heat, and not that I'm saying it's a bad script, but I think I got the impression that he was really trying to be a good Russian. Being good Russian for him was a patriotic thing, not a political thing.
Oh, right. It's definitely a patriotic thing.
Yeah, he was a patriotic Russian, but he also believed in good and in good police work. Yeah, so
he had to leave a good example, because it was one of those things where I need to leave a good impression that, hey, I'm here to do the right thing. And also even Belushi is trying to say, hey, look, man, this is how we do business out here. So they both meant well. It was kind of like we have very different journeys to get to our destination type of thing. That's what they were at. They both had the same destination. It's just the journey was very different on how they wanted to achieve it. That's what it was.
Oh, I think you're right. Yeah, and it was they both had very, very different styles, but they did want the same end. I mean, Belushi might have appeared to be playing a bit of a sleazy guy, but he wasn't. He was a good cop at the end of the day.
He was a sleaze. I mean, he was a good cop. Like he was. We were talking about some of the lines where he was trying to like pick up hookers and shit.
Well, don't we all? I don't understand what you're talking about. No.
Well, how about that scene where I always point at the two like capitalism?
That's right. And I remember pausing the movie and thinking to myself, what the hell does that have to do with capitalism? It's like, and I'm like, like, what's porn have to do with capitalism? It's like,
I don't know.
Modern porn is the monetization, or capitalism is the monetization of porn. But porn's always been around since the dawn of time.
Cave drawings.
It's right, etchings. But there was some great. I love Ready. It's a good laugh. There's a great cast. I mean, Gina Gershon is in it, so I mean, Who's got?
She was so hot back then.
Well,
I mean, and then again, I saw her recently in an Amazon original show called Red Oaks.
Oh, right. I've heard of it, but I haven't seen it yet. No.
It's actually good. I mean, it's because it's like set in the 80s, and it's very 80s, very, very 80s, and it's got Paul. I can't think of what his name is. Is it a
cop thing? Is it a sheriff or something? Or a cop
no,
thing?
I mean, it's all based around Red Oaks Country Club. It's a country club in like Jersey.
All right. No, I haven't watched that. But would you recommend it? Do you think it's pretty good?
I mean, if you like like 80s funny, like and it kind of brought me back to that whole 80s kind of like movie, like the teen sleaze movies back in the day, but a little
right.
It was, I mean, it's like 3 seasons. It's really good. I mean, it's got good actors in it.
Doesn't take itself too seriously, or I mean,
no, I mean, it doesn't, but I mean, it's, I don't know. I watched it within like a week and a half. It was like 3 seasons and I watched it real quick.
Yeah, I'm just having a look at it now. Okay. You know, I have seen it mentioned on Amazon Prime. I just never got around to watching it.
It does have boobies in it, so I mean, it's
and you had me at boobies. Why didn't you just say that to start with? I mean, all that stuff. All that stuff before it got
boobies.
All that stuff before it was just, you know. I'm just kidding, mate. I'm just kidding.
No, you were not kidding.
Red Heat had its share of boobies too, I have to say.
What's up, Fat Steven Seagal? Smells like Crisco up in here. Oh, son of a bitch.
Gina Gershon was always one of my favorites, I have to say.
Jesus, Logan. You also used to own comics. I saw man. I feel like if I ever meet you in person one day, I'm just gonna have to like get a few drinks and sit us at a table, and I'm just gonna listen to you speak, and you're just gonna tell me all these great stories. It's like Chuck Norris, like, you know, telling his new Chuck Norris Jr. what it was like with all these stories and Toxic Man
Flu, the roundhouse kick.
Toxic Man Flu. Holy shit! I fell asleep listening to the sweet voice of Nick Weiser. I wake up. That's these rock fans here. Talk about a wet dream.
A moist dream, perhaps.
Yeah, moist dream.
He certainly was dreaming of the Dix division there, that's for sure.
Yeah. Oh no, he was definitely thinking about the Dix division and watching over the Vanguard as well. Yeah. Not to oversell, but yes. As I
can't wait till I tell my wife later that Toxic Man Flu of Dix division was having dreams about me. That'll go down well. So, as Ekman said to the bishop.
Oh my god! Oh.
Yeah. Anyway, what about that Gina Gershon? Eh?
I mean, she's obviously older now, and she played like a mom in this, but it was she's still cute.
Oh yeah, she'll always be cute.
Oh,
her and Monica Bellucci and Salma Hayek. They're all in their 40s, late 40s, early 50s.
I think in the 50s.
She still looks great.
Dustin's just like, I think he must be looking up a photo of Salma right now. So.
No, I'm trying to think, because I think I always had a crush on Elizabeth Shue.
Oh yeah.
And then
that shoe was on the other foot.
Yeah, she was in The Boys, and
yes. Yeah.
What, both seasons or first season?
She was in both seasons.
Maybe if I saw the face, I'd remember.
Well, she was just in the first. Didn't she meet spoiler alert, didn't she meet a bad ending? No.
Well,
was it head explode?
Maybe, but I mean, she still transferred over to a couple episodes in the second season.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah. You're right. Sorry, yeah. There was this sort of flashbacky bits. And, yeah. But, Red Heat had a couple of other my great actors, Brian James, of course, who was in tons of great movies, like Blade, wasn't he in Blade Runner?
Was he in Blade Runner? I see. My big takeaway from this movie was, what was his name? Edo Ross. He was Victor Rostov.
Oh, yeah.
I liked him as a villain. I mean, we were talking like, yeah, he had some questionable choices. I think that was Dustin's comments. I think,
We've
but
all got some questionable choices.
yeah. Well, I felt like he was. I said this earlier, so I'm now just echoing my own statements. But I really felt like he really gave Arnold and Belushi, like he really took them to the very bitter end. Like,
yeah, and you need a good villain in a film like that. You need a strong villain, a believable one you can actually almost kind of get behind for being a villain. You know, that they're so convincing.
and he was a straight villain, not a sympathetic villain.
Yes.
He was a villain. That is something I miss.
That's right. You're saying.
He didn't definitely have enough screen time to be sympathetic, though. So
no.
Well, I don't want him to be. I'm my whole gist is here personally is I'm in this weird, like, I don't know if I want to call it weird. I'm in this like thing right now where I kind of miss villains being all the way villains, like no sympathetic edge, just make them be all the way bad. Because maybe because I've seen so much of the day and age of the sympathetic villain, it's making me miss when bad guys were just super destructive and not have that empathy element. So it's just like I like them. I want bad guys to be bad guys again. That's all. That's not too much to ask for.
I agree with you. That's what's kind of was inexpertly trying to say. You want a bad guy you can root for being a bad guy. You know, like this is great. This guy's just a bad guy, and you want him to be brought down, but you love every second of it before he is. You love that stuff.
Yes,
but
that
Brian,
was a real thing.
That's right. The chest. That was definitely a wig you were wearing on your chest. That can't be real.
The Macho Man shirt with the button out. Nick from Midwest, I remind me the bass player from Spinal Tap. Yeah. Guys, let's get toxic here. Linda Carter still looks good for a raise. There was a video footage that was shown on the BBC stream with Gary Naz of the prime Wonder Woman statue with Linda Carter. Well, I think we can all fundamentally agree on that. I mean, Dustin, 70s, you have any objections here?
I have no objections. I would concur wholeheartedly with that one.
You got some feedback here. David Serta, I think Collateral Damage is all right. Maybe I have to rewatch that one, see if it holds up. True Lies is great, but it's definitely, once again, under the very well-known category. So, once again, though, I'm not going to completely rule out. Like I said earlier, I might make some exceptions because some movies are just too good. Where it's just like, how can we not talk about that? Because I think it was Eric Maldonado who said, hey, you should do a Lethal Weapon. I have given some serious thought. So, hey, Mark, you that 70s Wonder Woman or Xena? Xena. I know I'm going to piss all the people in the comments with that one, but Xena.
I would go with Xena too. I agree with you, mate. Xena, she could conquer my. She could conquer me any day.
I never watched Xena, so I don't really know.
Oh, dude, it was good.
You just need to see some stills.
Toxic Man Flu just tipped me some sweet money. Thank you, Toxic Man Flu, for being excellent. Let's see what you did here. Toxic Man Flu with a $15 Dick's Division. We have more moist dreams before 9 a.m. than most dicks have all day.
Toxic's a legend. You're a legend, sir. I salute you. I stand at attention for you.
I'm crying.
Dicks at attention.
So what is it? Yeah, so Brian James, Blade Runner. He was one of the Rutger Hauer's compatriots in Blade Runner, but he was also in one of my all-time favorite movies, Southern Comfort.
I've never seen Southern Comfort, but I'll tell you what, man.
If you've never seen Southern Comfort, you are missing an experience.
Oh, an experience.
Walter Hill directed thriller, written by Walter Hill, directed by Walter Hill, and starred Keith Carradine and Powers Booth, Fred Ward, another great actor, Peter Coyote. But Breon James was one of the Cajun guys in the, and it was. Have you ever seen Deliverance?
I've
The-
not
but-
seen it. I've not
well,
seen it.
Okay, so I can't make a comparison there, but Southern Comfort's like Deliverance, except even rougher. So it's a bunch of National Guard guys, weekend soldiers, go into a rural bayou in Louisiana, and they start shooting off their blanks at the natives just because they're assholes, and they get hunted down by the native Cajuns one by one.
70s. You need to send me these names on Discord. We're gonna have to have some talks, and I think it might have to be a bit of a reoccurring guest, at least as much as you're allowed to be, because it sounds like we got some history to dig up here.
Yeah, for sure. But
yeah.
Southern Comfort is a movie we should do a stream about, I think.
Okay. Well, I'm down.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll have to add it to the list. I think I'm gonna have to now like create like a group list, and then we can like assemble in what order. But I got plans. Obviously, this is the first time I've done this, so we are kind of learning on this part. But the wake down here, you couldn't make a villain like that today. It's too much of an alpha antagonist. He was, and bro, did I love that. Once again, it doesn't mean that I hate sympathetic villains. There was a time and a place for them. But I don't feel like it needs to be every villain nowadays. It feels nowadays we've kind of applied the one size fits all. But anyways, Jeff over here, Dick's Division. Raw deal, dude. Oh, trust me. One way or another down the road, raw deal will be a thing. Indeed. Bad guys are called bad guys for a reason. Stop having them play nice. Toxic Man Flu of the Dick's Division. I would get at Elagabalus.
Derek Smalls. Yeah.
I would give money to see Nick cosplay Spinal and Tap with the aluminum wrap cucumber in his pants.
Yeah, Derek Smalls, the bass player, who couldn't get through the X-ray machine or the metal detector at the airport.
Oh my
you remember
god! That? No, oh my god!
Aluminum wrapped cucumber down his pants, so the metal detector keeps going off. It's not very hygienic, is it? It's hygiene. So, Dustin, have you seen Southern Comfort?
I have not. I don't even think I've heard of it.
Oh, it's a classic. 1981. I remember going to the cinema to see it, and I came out of it thinking that is one of the greatest movies I've ever seen.
I need to watch it. I need to look and see if I can find it on streaming.
It might well be. Yeah, it could be available on Amazon or Netflix. It's quite an old movie now, but knockout cast. But it's like Predator, except without an alien.
I need to check with my dad. He's got a basement where people just give him movies. So he's probably got about 5,000 VHS.
Oh yeah.
And he's got just about as many DVDs. So VHS and DVDs, no Blu-ray.
Mm-hmm. You know what's interesting about some of those VHSs, and you might want to look through them, is you sometimes get versions on those that you can't get now. So cuts or director edits that are not available, that were not put onto, or they messed with the film later for DVD or Blu-ray. So, I mean, obviously classic Star Wars original trilogy is one where you can get VHS copies that don't have the special effects that were added to the later versions that were released, the extra special effects. So, but yeah, Southern Comfort might be in there. It's a treat. I'm telling you, I'm shilling hard for that movie.
I can tell, and it shows, man. I found the link to it too, so that's something to know. We're going to have to talk about that because maybe we could realm outside the pool of these and get into some really weird ones here. So no, we got some talking to do, Sonny's, and I will.
It's the same director as Red Heat.
Yeah, Walter Hill. Yeah, I saw that.
So
that's cool. That gives me the incentive. All right, I noticed there's a pattern here because Russia, and it looks like he loves to go out of the country for his movies. But Mark D with the C here. Xena was great on Spartacus, if you know what I mean.
I did see Spartacus. That was a good show.
So I don't even know. I really don't know. But sounds like you guys know. What's up, Real Review 3000? Mr. Chris Knight here, dropping by, leaving a like and support before I crash. I just got my head toxic mailed out. That's what it was. But okay, well, you know what? I think this is going to be the part where us human beings, us toxic males, we wrap up. But next week, we're gonna talk Commando, and this time, now that we've learned from the first panel, this has been very fun, I'm gonna now take a lesson from the wake down. We'll have some. I'm gonna start taking some notes too, and make this even more expansive because we're all learning here.
We're figuring it out. So did you say we're going to go commando? We're going to go commando or talk commando?
Next week, we're going to go commando.
I mean, what happens below here is none of y'all's business.
That's right.
That's true.
Yes, I don't go below
matter.
I don't go below the waist. That's women's work.
Oh my God. All right. Anyways, I'll let my fine friend of many years, aka Bruta, aka Keto Simple, Dustin here, plug in your channels, sir.
I have the channel I have at Keto Simple. You can find it on YouTube. I have a corresponding Twitter and Instagram, the same thing. And then I have Barutile on YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram as well. Keto Simple, if you're looking for that kind of lifestyle. I do cooking, and I have podcasts where I talk to random people about their weight loss journeys and such. And then Barutile will be a music platform where I discuss music with various people that I find interesting.
There you go, Dustin. Hey, thank you for coming on. I cannot wait to do this again with you next Tuesday, dude.
Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
I appreciate you, and I'm happy to say I've sent a few people your way. So because I have a few friends who are trying to get into that lifestyle, and they're telling me that they're watching your videos. So I'm like, good,
awesome.
Don't stop watching. Yeah. All right, and to our other fine guests who I've now had the privilege of hanging out with 2 nights in a row. That 70s rock fan. Plug in your channel.
People will talk, Nick. 2 nights in a row. You know how rumors spread. So, Dustin, it was a pleasure to meet you, and I've just found your channel. Well, the Dustin Cade channel, and subscribed. I think you mentioned you had another channel there, though. So.
Yeah, at Keto Simple. It's got a beard logo and stuff. Yeah,
Keto Simple.
Oh yeah, Toxic. Let me get the links in the private chat. But yeah, 70s. Plug in your channel, dude.
Plug it in or plug it? I'll plug it. I'll never find my channel in time to stick it in. So I do have a channel, that 70s rock fan. I'm currently working on a couple of new videos, which is always a painstaking process. It's painful art, you know. Art is pain. But I do videos about science fiction books and music, but I'm also going to start doing I've been testing a lot of live streaming. I'm going to do a few bits and pieces there, and a couple of joint streams with some people. And you'll find me certainly regularly on a Friday night at Foul Ball Productions, which Nick is also on the panel there, and we have an awful lot of laughs. Foul Ball on a Friday night. Yes. It's the Brie Larson fan club.
All right.
That's me.
Yes, it is you. So we'll close out reading. It's like a great stream, Nick and Pound. Great job to the mods. Yes, the mods are killing. Mark D with the C. Man, that guy was up to date with all the knowledge and just keeping all plugging the channels, and Toxic Man Flu with all the jokes. Dick's Division always goes commando. Nice to meet you, Brutile. The Kettle Simple thing is cool. Nick send him my Twitter so he can give me his links to plug. Dude, I will get you his links to plug for every day and thereafter. What day is Commando, David Serta? Next Tuesday night, dude. Same bat time, same bat channel. Great stream, guys. Even though I got here late, bye. Take care and stay safe until next time. Thank you, guys. Thanks for the great stream. And remember, that's it. You're a midge or poop
too. It means nothing to me, Vienna. Sorry, that's mid-year.
No, it's okay. All right, guys.
Hey, he was in Thin Lizzy once for one tour. Yeah, mid-year was in Thin Lizzy.
Good night, Bone. All right, guys. This is the part. New Bomb Turk later. Bone. Till we all see again. This is goodbye or na 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 na.